All right, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, distinguished members of the press, and honorary members of the media. I am is your boy, Paul Briggs, also known as Desperado. I have Rock in the building. I have Deacon Payne walking here. And we are
The
the few.
few.
The
Yeah.
few. Welcome to the family of excellent wrestling. This is the post elimination chamber edition. Um, we just wanted to say hello to all of you in parts unknown. Uh, listen to it by the airways and technology. But yeah, but we just gonna get right into it. We just a bunch of brothers who love wrestling, and like I
Mm.
said, I mean, for years and years and years. So we was like, the stuff that happened over the weekend was too big for us not to give our 2 cents in. You know, uh, add our add our wood to the fire, so to speak. So, in this format, ladies and gentlemen, just like an account for a wrestling match, one, two, three. Um, we normally have 3 topics, but what we're going to do first today is we're going to start with the promo or the pre-match part. You know, how did we get here? So today, since we're talking about the elimination chamber, as I got to run it down here on the ticker at the bottom, gentlemen, I want to get your take. We'll start with Rocky, your take on the elimination chamber.
I would say, and by the way, before we start with that, I want to say there will be more members in the future
Yes,
as
the
well.
other few, yes.
The other few, but they couldn't make it today. But shout out to them. Um, excuse me. I think so far, I believe the elimination chamber did not disappoint. I feel like there were a lot of twists, a lot of turns. Some 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 uh some ideas were predictable. But overall I definitely enjoyed the entire show. I think, you know, I don't want to get into any specific topic at the moment, but overall I think the show was great. It was awesome. Um, you know, I think I basically said everything I needed to say, man. I'm gonna yield my turn because I feel like when I start spilling out, I'm gonna start getting to more specifics. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna yield my turn to you, Marcus, and see what you want to say about it.
Man, I loved it. I mean, there were things that I've been wanting literally for decades to happen. It happened. I just thought it was really solid. Like, I'm not gonna say I love everything in the Paul Levesque era, but it's been pretty darn solid. Like, even from like just the willingness to work with other, organizations and just the use of so many different platforms. Like, basically Level Up has changed to Evolve and now it's on Tubi. I mean, just like Elimination Chamber and the whole Levesque administration, they got my support right now, man. It is an interesting product.
Mm.
All right. For me, I thought it was very strong. It was good. The fact that it was in Toronto in Canada, definitely a place. Canada has always been essential to WWE and now TKO Holdings with all of the memories and stuff that we've had there, whether it was the Montreal screw job or no, infamously, or like other memories that Toronto has had with Rock and Hogan, having their WrestleMania match there before. I mean, and so Toronto's always been a strong town. So I know Cena had mentioned when he was going to do the farewell tour, he made the announcement in Toronto. So for the follow back up in Elimination Chamber, you know, that was good. So overall, I think top to bottom, it was a good card. I know TKO seems to be going a little light on the matches, like from the standpoint of you're only going to have like a half dozen now on pay per views where we used to have easily 10, but now you're only getting like 6. So and they letting the stories play out more and let the matches be more meaningful. So overall, it was good. It was good. It was good. Probably the best elimination chamber I had seen up until this point. All right. Now we're gonna go to the first count. Count one. Jay Cargill returns.
Mm.
On Jay Cargill returning.
So I love the way they told the story. She was on a vacation, man. Like it's been a minute since we saw her, and there were always speculation on who did it, who injured her, who pushed her off the ledge, whatever the car. I mean, obviously Bianca. People been saying Bianca probably set the whole thing up. I don't know, like because she was in the match when it happened, obviously. But nobody knew where Naomi was at the moment. I mean, Naomi, if you look back at footage, they showed Naomi was in the crowd acting all shocked. And when everybody was seeing, okay, what happened or whatever. But everybody, you could always point out the card. There was Liv and her I forgot what's her name, Reyes. I forgot her. Uh,
Raquel Rodriguez.
Rodriguez, yeah, her. And and at first I thought, yeah, it makes sense, but I know, I mean, the WWE is smart. We are a smart universe. We're not just going to go fall for the first obvious thing. So I thought it was a good twist. As far as when she returned, everybody when she came in there and she did her thing to Naomi, I'm like, oh yeah, now this is some good story writing. This is some cinema, as they would say. Um, but I thought she did her thing. I thought this was a good revenge, sweet revenge for Jade Cargill. Um, I don't think she and when the Jade Cargill's in the ring, sometimes she makes some little errors. Back in her AEW days, she kind of missed cues and stuff like that. But I think she's much more polished as a fighter. Because I think I needed a break from Jade Cargill too for all those errors she's been making, in the ring. And the fact that it's been a minute since I seen her, I was happy to see her. I was happy that she got her lick back. Um, you know, I think Bianca with her storyline, this gonna be a situation for her because down the road, when she going for that title, I don't know who Jade Cargill is going to attack Bianca because she thinks she might was on the whole situation, or that's something that needs to be, the writer's going to be on their P's and Q's with that storyline. So that's all I got to think about it. I'm worried more about Bianca because she might wind up losing the title because of this whole situation. So I've been yield my turn to Marcus and let you explain how you felt about it.
All right, man. I always loved Jay Cargill's look and presentation since the AEW days. They just had her kind of run roughshod over a lot of women.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but like you could see that it was raw. She wasn't all the way there, and yeah, there were a few missteps even in the WWE. I really think she probably would have benefited from some time in NXT just to really get seasoned. But she's a high property, so we did it this way. Um, I'm not shocked. Kind of was thinking it was Naomi. I'm in all the little different wrestling groups on Facebook and this and then everybody was saying that they felt it was Naomi. So yeah, like I said, that didn't shock me, but man, just the way she mollywopped Naomi, like, oh my gosh, like she put a hurt on her. Like, also I saw this picture of Naomi and Jimmy at the premiere of this movie called Queen of the Ring. Uh, it's about the life of Mildred Burke, and I think Naomi's in it. she had a neck brace that matched her dress. I was like, shout out to you for not only keeping up kayfabe, but also being stylish at the same time. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Kayfabe, yes. You wear that neck brace because the last time the world saw you, you was getting shot.
I'm sorry not to cut you. I'm sorry. The sound effects kind of got me, yo. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike. You can continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to. Sorry.
No, that's cool, man. Like I said, I love it. I want to see where they're going. You know, and yeah, I mean, I feel like this has to affect Bianca's title situation in some way.
Mhm.
I don't love it. I really haven't liked Bianca not being in the title picture for her. I know she was kind of, building up Jade and others, but I'm like, all right, it's time for, EST to be back in that title picture. So this should throw some interesting wrinkles or wrenches into that whole situation.
Um, for me, I was not expecting to see Jade. It definitely made Naomi's night a short one. Um, Again with Marcus, I agree with her. Playing it up. At Vert premiere. Um, yeah. So just continuing on. I'm like, yes, that was beautiful. Um, yeah. My thing for Naomi is she has been there for so long. I remember when the three of them was, oh God, I think it was the France. It was either one of the ones in England, or I want to say it was the French pay per view when they won the tag titles or whatever, or they won it back from Isle Dawn and the Fire Girls, because I know they had lost it in
Yeah.
England and then they won it back, I think in France for Backlash or something like that. So the thing that I loved about the three of them when they were sitting there talking is how Naomi talked about how for years she was like, it was like maybe her and then Sasha Banks. It wasn't any other sisters, and then to see Bianca come aboard, and now you have Jade and stuff. I don't know if this is going to be a heel turn with Naomi, or Jade is a natural heel anyway. I would like to see Naomi really get the push, like a la Jay, that Jimmy hadn't really gotten yet. I know they're trying to do this big Jim motif, um, with Jimmy trying to get him some traction now. But I would love to see Naomi really become a breakout because she's been that loyal soldier. She's been there. I know
Mhm.
they have the whole walkout thing, so I'm hoping they're not holding that against her too much. But but
I mean,
I
I feel like there was a bit of dues paying that had to occur or penance because of the walkout. But I
Wait,
feel
what?
like,
I'm sorry.
oh, okay. Naomi and Sasha were the tag champs. They wanted them to fight each other in a tournament, and they were like, "This is dumb." And
Mm,
then they were like, "We in charge, do it." And they were like, "Oh no, no, no!" And they like left the belts. I think in Triple H office or something, and just walked out. They walked out. They got on down. They left WWE, and eventually they were released. Now Sasha eventually kind of went the indie route. Now she is in AEW. Naomi went to TNA, started wrestling under the name Trinity Fatu,
mm,
won the TNA belt, and kind of made a good, I guess, representation for herself. She had some decent matches with people like Jordan Grace. So like she was in a doghouse with the WWE, but I think it endeared her to more fans. Her TNA run.
right.
So
Because I remember she was part of Pterodactyls, wasn't she?
Ooh, that's dark
Somebody
in
call
there.
me
Funkdactyls.
mama.
Funkdactyls.
Oh yeah, the Funkdactyls. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And The first person to have somebody call my mama was dang.
Ernest the Cat
Uh,
Givens, I remember.
no, Ernest the Cat Miller. yeah,
Miller.
yeah, yeah. Like that was his song when he first came to the WWE. Then they recycled it for Brawlers Clay and the Funkdactyls.
So,
Yeah.
I would say
Dang, she been in WWE.
that's also on Naomi. I'm hoping that she gets a good, whether as a heel or a face, however they want to do it with Jay. I really hope she gets a really kind of like how Bailey had gotten that push. Where
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
hoping Naomi, because for her to be there and be a third fiddle and to be, I think Naomi can always do more. It's just a matter of if they maybe the character was limiting her, and now because like when you saw her in TNA, she was able to do more stuff that she never did in the WWE. You know, she had more, I guess, creative freedom on how to build it. So it would be
yeah, and people forget she's been a heel in the WWE before, and she was an entertaining heel. She would like go in on Byron while he was trying to interview her and stuff. Like go off on him. I like Naomi as a heel.
yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much it for count one. All right, the two count. We must talk about it. The John Hill turn. Yes, as we had the picture, as we showed here on our overlay when we first came in, the infamous moment that will forever live in wrestling history. Definitely, I would like to think a top five moment all time. Um, it's something that we may thought that we'd never see the light of day.
I
I,
really didn't think I'd ever see it. I started thinking it might happen, like, cause uh, I was like, well, man, the Rock's not, Cody's not gonna sell his soul to the Rock. He's too much of a do-gooder for that. And then again, people all around the internet, the hubbub was, ooh, Cena might turn, Cena might do it. So yeah, but I'm sorry. Am I like going out of turn? I didn't mean to break up
No,
the
well,
no,
whole
you
thing.
good.
well,
You good.
we're
You good.
going back the other way around, just to change it
Okay,
up.
okay, all right, then. Well, let me speak. Yo. Let me speak on this. Shout out to Conan, man. About freaking time, man. Oh my God, like Lord forgive me. I grew to nearly hate that man during the Super Cena days. You know the LOL Cena wins again days.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Cause it was just like, dude, enough. Then I would see grown men wearing his shirt. I'm like, you a Cena fan? No, I'm a wrestling fan. I'm like, are you? but
yes,
now I
I
would say
remember
this:
that, Marcus.
the the U.S. title invitational run, when he was just challenging people every week to, take the U.S. title from him. That made me love Cena again because it felt like he was giving back, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm,
And to be fair, when Cena's been popping up like the last 3, 4 years, that man been looking up at the lights. He been getting pinned. He been doing the honors. So like that kind of made me rediscover my respect for him. But man, this what I wanted, man. This
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of that Wide Six match, man. I mean that Bray Wyatt John Cena Funhouse match. You know the part where he came out wearing the NWO and playing the belt like it's a guitar. I'm like, yes. Like they even made an action figure of it, even though it don't really exist. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody's wanted that.
Mm-hmm.
He's even made jokes about heel turns and this and that. And it's like, come on, man. Like it kind of had to happen, man. Like this was that last little thing that he needed to do, before he goes off into the sunset. I'm with it, man. I love it. I'm like, yes, yes. More of this. And like, I don't know, man. I need him now to go like Dr. Thugonomics, or like, since he bald it anyway, just gonna shave the head. Him and Rock both just be bald, bald,
The
bald
ball
evil
bosses.
yeah, bald bosses, bald evil corporate practitioners. I'm,
Bald ink.
I'm yeah, there you go. I'm saying bald ink. I'm for it, man. I am for it.
Wow.
Oh man, John Cena was like, "F them kids."
Yes.
Oh man, I loved it. I guess my only thing was, the only thing that would have made it pure chef kiss would be if Jim Ross was calling what was going on.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch! Oh my god! Oh man. But man, I've been waiting. I've been waiting for John Cena to turn heel. I didn't think I was gonna see today because I always saw, my generation. He was always the baby face and everything. He always won every match, And I ain't gonna lie, I was part of a C Nation fan a little bit. I mean, I was part of that crowd, but eventually you start to get what's the word? Not tired, but it's similar
Apathetic.
to, huh?
Apathetic.
Apathetic. Nah, it's more like when like the Hulk Hogan situation, when people was tired of seeing Hulk Hogan become the good guy, and it was getting fatigued. I was getting fatigued with the situation, and I felt like this. For a while when John Cena was coming back, he started felt like a gimmick. I knew something was strange when the first thing I knew something was off about John Cena is when he did that press conference after the what was that pay-per-view event that
Royal Rumble.
yeah, the Royal Rumble. He forced himself in that match in Royal Rumble, in the Elimination Chamber. That's not John Cena like. John Cena always fought to get in the ring. He don't force himself in the ring. So I'm like, that ain't right. That's not John Cena like. So, and on top of that, another thing was off was the way he won that Elimination Chamber match. The good John Cena will probably let CM Punk. Then again, it's people can make the argument he probably would have did the same approach, but in a different way. The good John Cena will let CM Punk, stand up, get his stamina after he witnessed what just happened. But now instead he took the opportunity, put CM Punk in the STF as soon as he saw that Seth Rollins got his head stumped. So I don't know how. I mean, people can argue whether the good babyface John Cena would have gave CM Punk more of a shot or not. But all I know is I knew something was off, regardless. And it all finally, came in fruition when The Rock gave him the signal. And I don't know, like Travis Scott's just hella random to me. Like he was just there just to be there. Like I don't know what I mean. I wanted to have a reason why Travis Scott was there so bad. Like it got to the point where he was doing the sage, and I was like, maybe the sage made the John Cena turn. Maybe it was some type of chemical or whatever to trigger John Cena. I don't know. It got to the point where I'm like, I need to make sense of why Travis Scott is here. But
Man, the whole thing was given. If you go out, you got to take your little brother with you. And I'm like, why is he here? And then he started beating up Cody. Then he hurt Cody for real. Like
he really hurt Cody Rhodes. He gave
Like-
Cody Rhodes a black eye. Like, yo.
and they busted eardrum. It's like, dude, no.
Yo, and you know
You
what
could
Cody
tell
Rhodes
who was
gonna
the true amateur of the group.
do? I mean,
Yeah, dude.
and of course they showed Travis Scott backstage giving Triple H and um the Rock high five saying, "I love this. I'm gonna buy me a ring." And I'm like, Travis, don't do that. Don't do that. You're not made about that. You're not about that life.
You really
Uh,
not, dude.
He's not Bad Bunny,
nah, Bad Bunny. If I would give the thing is they trained Bad Bunny though. He got trained a little bit.
but to Bad Bunny's thing, he actually took what 3 months off. He talked about it in the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he took 3 months off just to go train. And like, who does that? Maverick Carter was like, who does that when you have a number 1 album in the world? Who stops? They don't train for 3 months.
But like you said, like I remember, I don't know if you told me this, but Paul, but you said that nobody knew what was going to happen with this Rock, the triangle effect or whatever with the Rock, uh, John Cena and Cody Rhodes situation. Everything was basically improvised at the last minute. So maybe that Travis Scott thing was improvised. I don't know. I mean, was Cody Rhodes expecting that? I doubt it, but I don't think he expected a broken eardrum. But other than that, I love the John Cena turn. I think it's about time. Um, Now I definitely know it's no gimmick. You know, I'm tired of him looking all surprised when he's looking at the crowd, being all animated, like, "Oh my God, look at me, look at him, we're together." Like, stop doing that, John Cena. No, I don't. That irritated me. That
I remember you talked about that after Royal Rumble. You were
like,
so upset about that. You're like, why are you doing this?
why you're being extra for no reason? Yes, we see it. We see the moment between you and CM Punk. We see the moment. Yes, we know this. We're a smart universe, John Cena. Now we're seeing a John Cena that just went in the press conference, dropped the mic, and then left. I like that. That's this is like almost peak Roman Reigns at this point, in my opinion.
Mm.
Like this actually tops, in my opinion, almost Roman Reigns likability and a new level.
Ooh. Hold
So
on now, man. I can't have all this minimizing of my tribal chief.
no, I give him respect to the tribal chief, but I'm just saying, like, when he first said acknowledge me, that's when things turned up for him. But John Cena heel turn is up there with that.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. I just
And I think he might be talking also in reference to the press conference because I remember the one where Roman Reigns came in and sat down and he asked everybody to acknowledge him, and that one person didn't want to acknowledge him. He said, "Okay, you got to leave." Like, no, I'm serious. We're not starting the press conference until you leave. You don't leave, I'll leave. Like, he was serious, and the folks I understand. You got to play along, dude. And it's like you thought this was a joke. The joke don't end once the final bell sound. It's
Mhm.
24/7, 365.
that's what I'm talking about. Kayfabe,
Yeah,
man. Kayfabe is important, man. Like, you know, live the gimmick. Well, not all the way there. We don't want nobody.
I don't know. Undertaker scared me because I really think he was really like that.
Dude, so not used to Mark Calloway being free of kayfabe.
yeah.
It'd be lust of like him chilling wearing flip flops or like chilling at the house in shorts playing video games. I'm like, Undertaker don't wear shorts to play video games. I'm just like,
It's almost you almost want him to be more like Chuck Norris. Just be. You
yes,
think Chuck
dude.
Norris is out there chopping his own wood, chop wood, carry water? That's what Chuck Norris does.
Because
Recreational activity.
let me tell you how dedicated Mark Calloway used to be. There is a photo of him in a park in Japan in full Undertaker attire, just walking. And little kids looking like, oh my God, is that the angel of death? Is my life over?
Like the R.
Like,
Kelly, not like the Bone Thugs and Harmony.
yes. He like that dude's white adopted brother or something. It's just
Who want a bag?
like,
You want a bag? You want a bag? Who want a bag? You want a bag?
yeah,
It's my
yeah,
Uncle
man.
Charles.
Like,
No, if he
you know
gone
what I'm
with so
saying? And I'm
long,
gonna
it
miss
took me so
everybody.
long. Ooh,
Like,
so long. Gotta hold on. Got to stay strong. When did they come? With the
yeah,
bone cut the shoulder, you can lean on. Lean on.
and we praying. Like, dude, that's how committed he was. I loved it as an actor, as somebody who grew up loving kayfabe. I'm like, that's how you commit to your character. So, like, seeing Mark Calloway free of that, like, even on LFG this past week, he like bickering with his wife. I'm like, I don't want to see Undertaker bickering with his wife. I want you to summon your leaders of the undead. I'm sorry.
Okay, let me give my comments on the heel turn, Lord Jesus.
Yo.
We turned and went down, and that's what we do here at the few review. Um, I like to say Cena is definitely a top five moment. The fact that Canada got two of them with the Montreal screw job, and now I call it the Toronto turnover. You know, yeah. So it's like, yeah. So they get two. Of course, Hogan turned it over with NWO. You know, that was WCW, but at the time, yeah. But it's just
Oh, I saw that live, sir.
yeah, seeing that live was
If there was
visceral.
a camera on me, you could see my inner child being crushed.
Yes, and I
Like I
think for a
lost some
lot,
innocence that day.
and I think for there's a certain demographic, a certain age group that it was real. Like the one little boy, like I hate John Cena, I hate John Cena. Like you can tell this boy had been indoctrinated, fed the hustle, loyalty, respect, the red, white, or blue, and you know, and then the Fruity Pebble. So all of that. I did like how some of the reaction from some of the storyline from the people, from the different talent, at the days following, as far as their reaction to it. And you can tell they've been working on their barbs. Hey, if they ever get the chance, face Cena, yeah, he's gonna get cooked. You know, he's gonna get cooked. But I think it was needed. He had teased about what it would look like. I mean, even at length that he even went far as I saw one video where he talked about he already had a track made. He said, and this I think he did this interview in like he talked about it in 2012. There was going to be
Yeah.
a heel turn, and he had gotten the track made. He had gotten a different outfit, new sets of boots that he was going to wear, all of this stuff. He said this track may never see the light of day. Who knows? This track might come out now because I noticed how so many people started rushing to the internet, pulling all these clips and stuff of stuff John has said over the years. You know, but I think it was good for the business, good for the industry. Definitely. Now, we didn't really talk about it too much, go in depth too much about it. But the Elimination Chamber matches, this was the first one that I enjoyed both matches, both the men's and the women's match equally. I felt like for both, this is just me, I could make a case for anybody in of the six winning it, especially on both sides. I can make a case for, especially the men, because I'm sitting there looking. I said, you had Cena, you had Rollins, you had Punk, you had Priest, you had Drew McIntyre, and you had Logan Paul. I mean, Logan Paul hadn't won the world championship, but he didn't won, the U.S. championship. But you always got to have somebody, a bad guy. Um, so the fact that you got these six guys, all of them have won world championship, all of them have been main eventers, and it's like I can make a storyline case for WrestleMania with literally any one of them guys. Literally any one of them.
Mm.
If I before the turnover, if I had to pick who I really wanted John Cena to face at WrestleMania, had he not won the match and they were gonna let CM Punk go ahead and have the moment that he's been wanting to do, I would have loved to see if you just wanted to do sheer internet buzz. I would have wanted to see John Cena fight Logan Paul because you would have had John Cena this generation's greatest star, Logan Paul. When you got folks that came to watch wrestling because of Logan Paul and his brother Jay. They they might have cared, but they didn't really care like that, or they might have cared and kind of fell off. And for Logan Paul to have been so good so fast, I mean, this boy done put in his stripes, and it's like, for what it's worth, I was like, okay, give him somebody like Cena. I would have wanted to see that because I think that would have really moved the needle. Because when you got somebody like a Logan Paul with all them millions and millions of followers, it's a generational thing. Now that may now instead of it being WrestleMania, that may be the last match. If Cena has a last match, it either needs to be somebody like a Logan Paul, a AJ Styles, or Randy Orton. In my opinion, gotta be one of them three.
Mm.
Maybe Punk, maybe because him and Punk now had a couple of say maybe one more dance. I don't have to see it, but yeah. But that is it for the third count. I don't know. Oh no, the second count. Second count.
Can I make
Second.
one more?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, not dealing with the John Cena, but this is an honorary topic. What the heck are they going to do with Roman Reigns? Because he has not really a decent storyline. I know you mentioned your tribal chief, man. He's everybody's, but
I definitely want to hear Marcus
I'm
take
trying to
on this.
figure out is he legit.
whoa, he froze up on us. Wait.
Marcus. Oh, he dropped off.
Oh, the cliffhanger. His
The
phone probably
cliffhanger.
died. His phone died.
Yeah, no,
Oh no,
no,
he's
no.
back. He's back.
He's coming back.
Oh
Okay,
no no
Marcus.
no no no! My phone ain't there, man.
Uh,
I'm gonna plug
Yeah,
in over here
froze
with
up.
it.
Yeah, dropped off, and we can't see
Oh,
you.
I
You
can see.
literally, you can you see him?
I can see him.
Oh, okay. I can't see him on mine. It's almost like trying to see like you can't see. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, if you see him, as long as you see him, that's fine. I don't see him
yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
Like I said, I'm trying to figure out is Roman Reigns legit hurt or kayfabe hurt, and then I'm like, if he's kayfabe hurt, so like, would we add him to some kind of like uh CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns match of some sort?
Wait, how did he get hurt again?
Seth curb stomped him on a steel
Oh,
step at
at
Oh,
Royal Rumble.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I can see. Yeah, CM Punk. Yeah. Well, I mean, if anything, I wanted him to get the Eula. Wait, he already won the Eula follow, right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. He beat
Yeah.
Solo and got that back.
So yeah, his storyline is kind of weak at the moment. Other than, I mean, he'll definitely be like he's probably third to last match of WrestleMania right now
So the
if he
thing
does
about
pop in.
my issue with Reigns is Roman Reigns is too big of a star just to leave out unless you use Royal Rumble to write him off for vacation. But even still, I don't think you can talk. This man has literally main evented WrestleMania in some shape, form, or fashion in the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Really, more or less. So the goal now, does Roman Reigns deserve a WrestleMania off? I could argue that, yes. But I just still think he's too big of a talent. That's almost like WrestleMania's coming and the Undertaker's not going to show up and do nothing. Or or John Cena or the Rock. Or like no, if they're there, they're going to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, would Roman Reigns not even show up until now? This is where okay, so we know that next Monday, CM Punk and
Seth Rollins. Yeah.
Rollins supposed to do still cage match. I think somehow something's gonna go screwy in this match. And either Roman Reigns then come out to interfere, which will now make it a triple threat for WrestleMania, or some kind of DQ or something happens to where they have to fight again at WrestleMania. And this time, somehow Roman comes to get his lick back to where he just shows up or
But
whatever. He's Roman. He can do that.
I guess, but what for? I mean, other than, I mean, they're not really fighting for anything other than, oh, I beat you. You know.
Right.
I mean, it's
Right.
Roman Reigns needs to be. I think he should be up for a title or something.
I agree. But
You
it's
know,
just
it's not big enough for. It's kind of like. I mean, even
unless
Uso got a better gig than Roman Reigns.
now, truth be told, I love Jay. I love thing. I want one a pair of them phone things. I do want one. I'm not feeling this one with Gunther though. I'm just not feeling. To me, it just seems.
It feels
It
forced.
seems. Yes, it feels forced, but it feels even more disjointed than the match with his brother for WrestleMania last year.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was not great.
That was not a great match. That was not. They got to live their WrestleMania because they had always talked about they would love to face each other some kind of way, and of course WWE made it happen. But Jay was built up enough to do it. Jimmy was just there, and just it didn't sell well at all. Mostly Jimmy. I think Jay tried to do what he could do, but Jimmy, it just wasn't. And for Jay to win, I was so happy. I screamed like a little girl. I ain't gonna lie. I screamed when he won. I said, "Oh my God, Jay Uso!" I was shocked because I didn't know whatever happened. Because I was like, I would love to see Jay do it. Because I was thinking Jay and Cody. I wasn't thinking Cena. Now I thought of Cena and maybe somebody like Gunther. Because my thing about Gunther is, man, if Gunther, now again, I would love for Jay to win the title, but if Gunther was to lose it, you talking about now two pay-per-views, Gunther goes in as a champ and he loses. I
Mhm.
Gunther to me is too good of a talent just to let that happen to him. Now Roman Reigns found his way, and that would be just throwing it together. But somebody like a Roman Reigns and a Gunther should have a bigger storyline going into it. I just don't know what you do with Roman. Roman is such a big object. I don't know. If this may be the one where he takes off and he does either to show up the Monday after WrestleMania or he shows up WrestleMania night and interferes some kind of way with Punk and Rollins. Who knows?
Mhm.
Who knows?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I guess we can go back to our original schedule. I
Yeah,
didn't. Did
so
you have anything, Marcus, to elaborate with Roman Reigns? I mean, I didn't need any more to elaborate, or good.
No, man. Like I said, man. If he's not hurt, I want him there, man. And like I don't know, man. They just made Roman look so pedestrian in the Royal Rumble. Like I'm like, I know it's Seth Rollins, but that's my tribal chief, and he just getting curb stomped and beat around. I'm like, come on, man. Like
Yeah,
Roman got to get that dude.
yeah, you know he's gonna come back.
yeah. Jay, I just hope Jay. Like I say, it don't seem like a fair match to me with Jay and Gunther. Jay kind of reminds me of an intercontinental, the best intercontinental champion that you could ever have. I hate to say that, and I kind of fit. I'm kind of leaning to that narrative of not many people believing in him. Like full words, yeet. Like I like it, but I don't know, man. Like Gunther is definitely a heavyweight, and I don't know. Jay Uso just always screamed the best intercontinental champion for me. I don't. I mean, and that's not a bad thing. It's just I can't. I don't know, man. I feel weird about
I
saying.
don't want to end up. My thing about Jay Uso is if you're going to commit to give him this heavyweight title run, you got to really. I don't want to see another Kofi Kingston. I'll say it. I don't want to see another minority superstar reach the pinnacle and then you just get dog walk like
Like with
for
Brock
that win.
Lesnar, like Kofi Kingston,
Yes,
Brock Lesnar.
I don't want to see
um,
that. I would
dude,
be
that made me
so
sick to my stomach.
seven what? The match was what, 7 seconds, 8 seconds?
I
I was
want
like,
my money back.
Now, I had a feeling he was going to lose the title because remember it was that first night on Fox
Yeah.
SmackDown. It was in LA. They had this whole big glitz red carpet. You had thought it was a pay-per-view the way they led up to it. They had Kofi, they had him sitting on the stage, and the lady asked to talk to him. They had the whole video of him going back to Ghana, where he's from, and then you saw all the people in the village and stuff coming out and seeing the elders, congratulate him and bless him. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, he gonna lose tonight because you're not going through all of that to have him
Mm.
celebrate it like that, and you show that there, and then he's gonna still remain the champ. Fine, but now I know 8 seconds, seven, no,
This
and I
McMahon
know
said,
to this day there are still people mad about that. To this day,
Yeah,
Miss McMahon
me
was
to
like, "We're
this
gonna wait. We're
day.
gonna put y'all. We're gonna wake you guys up with reality today. You know damn well, Brock Lesnar is not gonna let
No.
Kofi Kingston."
the thing that I hated, Marcus, I don't know if you saw it live. I remember watching it live, and you know how because it's network TV, you got to be on it. You got to hit that mark when it's time to go. So by the time they broke them out and they brought out Lesnar and everything, I looked at the clock. I think the thing was supposed to end at 10, and it was like 9:54, and I was like, "Oh, this match is going to be long because tick 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 tick. You gotta be off air at 10 o'clock." And
And you know
I'm
what?
just
I think the crowd probably knew that too. Like, hold up now, something
yeah,
ain't right.
but not no
And
8
then,
seconds.
yeah, but also what bothers me too is literally as soon as he got pinned, then Tyson Fury came out. Like they literally put Brock into another program within seconds. Like Kofi became an afterthought and a footnote in seconds, even after the loss.
Wow.
I'm still mad about that.
Vince McMahon's like, you know what? Your Kofi Mania is over. Your reality about to set in three, two, one. 8 seconds later.
So again, my thing is don't give Jay the title. If you're going to give Jay the title, you gotta let him roll with it to at least SummerSlam.
Right.
At least if you're going to do it. If you're not going to do it, then if he loses, then so be it. But then again, folks will be like, that's what we expect. And it seems like the WWE is trying on purpose not to do that. So, okay. All right. And for the last of the three counts, we have is house shows ending. There's been many reports. If you look at the WWE.com as far as what and the shows, they are cutting back on the number of house shows they're doing, or some people call them the C&D shows. Um, these was the
Or
shows that,
WWE likes to call them live events.
yes, live events. Yes, these was the shows where a lot of times your mid card talent and your um, lower end talent or newbies or rookies would get work in front of the crowd. Sometimes with storylines, working new angles to see if it works before they put it on TV. That kind of thing to kind of get almost like test reaction and just to give you know cities, areas that they know we're never getting a Raw or a SmackDown. God forbid a pay per view, but we're never getting. And then for like, let's say for example, like when you look where a lot of these wrestlers are from, like for example, Rollins, Davenport Hour. I never expect Davenport Hour to ever get definitely not a pay per view, but maybe they may get a Raw or a SmackDown maybe once. Seth Rollins' whole career, but they'll get a house show.
Yeah. Now
Um,
you have to understand. I grew up in Memphis, and in the '90s, primetime wrestling wasn't coming to Memphis.
mm,
Like this is even before Monday Night Raw. All we had was house shows, man.
mhm.
And I mean, I couldn't go because my parents wasn't driving to no wrestling. But I was just glad to see Memphis get that, man. Like And I feel now, of course, now Memphis gets Raw and SmackDown. A Raw or a SmackDown once a year, but like, yeah, man, I feel bad for those smaller cities, man. And also, like, I just think to really get good at wrestling, you just gotta get some good time in the ring, man. And
Mhm.
I think you need to go to different cities and see what works and oh, how can I get over with these fans? Or if I'm a heel, how can I be disgusting to these fans?
Right.
I just think there's a lot built and a lot that goes into just the whole business and presentation and creating your character that's gonna be lost. And I mean, you can't say NXT because how many times have we seen people with personas that you love? I'm gonna say I love because I love Bo Dallas. Like I loved that persona, and the full sale crowd of NXT loved it, right? But it wasn't burned on the main roster. Like I just think you're losing a lot if you end house shows.
Mhm.
What?
Like things that
Um,
are irreplaceable.
I'm gonna be fully transparent. I never really experienced a house show. I was fortunate to live in an area where wrestling, actually, ironically, Richmond at one period of time they had a drought of WWE coming to Richmond until one time. I remember on the news they made it a big deal that wrestling is coming back. Ever like for they've been on like a 5 year hiatus. They always pass Richmond for some reason, and I remember the news made a big deal that they were coming back. And I didn't go to that first wrestling when they came back ever since the hiatus, but I went to a couple after that, and I always had a great experience. But as far as I can understand, I can see the aspect of cities that um don't get the live shows, and especially with it seems like everything WWE's putting out there is kind of like gold now. You got NXT that's supposed to be the amateur, the roster, people on the roster that don't get that much shine. You know, even now you also got the what is it LFG? Uh,
Yes, yes.
yeah, they going mainstream now, and that's supposed to be the amateur amateurs. Like, I mean, so if you're not, I feel like now they're trying to low key. That's going to cut down on some employees, some wait, and WWE stars they're considered contractors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to
It's gonna be some
most,
contractors without contracts.
yeah. So I mean, I feel like now you have to make yourself much more, excited, much more memorable for the audience to even remember you now. It's even harder because if you're not on one of those shows, you ain't going to be on. You're not going to be in WWE. You'll find yourself on AEW or what's that show that was made in Baltimore now? What's it? Ring of Honor or TNA. You will find yourself in those.
MLW, Major League Wrestling.
Yeah, like I feel bad that those people that's not getting that much shine to the house shows. You cut the house shows, you cutting people's jobs now. So, I mean, I that's all I have to say about it. I think they need to reconsider. Especially for the fans out there that want to definitely see a show. I always wonder how a house show goes, especially if it comes to like a WWE title defense or something. Like I'm pretty sure they do those. We all know who gonna win,
It's
obviously.
weird though, cause like WWE's always been inconsistent on our house shows like canon, like they count the storyline. Cause they would just have random title changes at house shows. Like I remember Kevin Nash kicked Bob Backlund in the stomach and pinned him in like 7 seconds one time. You know that counted. Like Bob Backlund dropped the belt at a house show,
Wow.
right? But conventional wisdom would say house shows don't really count as part of the overall storyline. But they
Right.
would do things like that randomly. So like,
And that's
Right.
yeah, you're right about the continuity because I remember sometimes I think I forgot what it was, but I remember something happened at a house show that made it to the live show. That was something. It was something big, and it turned out to be part of the storyline. So and that's kind of cool in a way because some things just need to be exclusive. You just need to be there to know what happened. Um, but I
yeah,
feel like it adds another element to the house why house shows could be important because you might be a part of something that hey only a selected few will remember to talk about. So um I don't know, it's just different elements that I think they could definitely tackle more of with the house show. They just decide not to you do it, which um I think they could add. I think house shows could be used in so many different ways than what they're doing it with now, especially adding to a storyline. It could be a subplot of a storyline that's brewing to happen. Um, I don't know. It's like Marvel. You know how Marvel got to their own TV shows now, and
yes, yes,
you got to know the Marvel TV. You got to know what's going on in the TV show to know what's happening in the actual movie or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, WWE could do something like that, man. WWE gonna hate me as a writer because I'm gonna utilize every little thing that we got.
That's how Vince Russo was. Like you
Yeah,
look at like that like late '98 Raw.
man.
Everybody had a storyline. The freaking oddities had a recurring storyline. They just little weirdo ragtag group. You know what I'm saying? Vince's thing was if you're on the payroll, I'm gonna find a way for you to work.
Mm.
Yeah.
And and I loved it because like now a lot of these shows, it feel like
Now,
WWE and AEW, it's like you could have a whole new show based on everybody in catering.
They use catering. They use catering.
You know what I'm saying? Put a ring in catering. Put a ring in catering. Let's go and just
I would say this.
tear them
I
scrap
think
it up.
I think Triple H was is best as far as employee morale. He's great at the employee morale. He gives superstars breaks. Other than Mix Man, he didn't do that shit. Like he was like, no, you go work today. F what you got going on.
right.
Um, but I don't know. It's like there's not a balance. Like either you're going to have happy employees that give you probably the bare minimum. Not argue everybody gives you the bare minimum, or you're gonna have pissed off employees that will give you the whole world. Which I think Vince McMahon gave us that. I'm not saying Triple H doing a bad job. I think the storylines are way better in my opinion. But sometimes I feel like the acting is kind of lazy sometimes. But
It
that's
is. I mean, like, but that could be solved. Like a few coaches.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not. I,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, he might have dropped off.
There's somebody
All right, Q. His. All right, you going in and out, Marcus.
for real.
All right.
Yeah, your signal
Now
was
we,
going
we,
in.
we clear you now. You're clear now.
Yeah, but like I was saying, that's fixable. You can hire some acting coaches. As somebody who acts, like I'm not saying they have to be Denzel Washington, but I just feel like the acting flaws are fixable,
What is my
or at
motivation?
least they can be improved.
What is my motivation? Excuse me.
Yeah,
What's my
because
motivation?
Ricochet was not good. Ricochet was horrible on the mic. I don't know. Ricochet was one that was dating Samantha Irving. Oh my God, Samantha is
Oh,
beautiful.
oh.
I'm so mad that she left. But yeah, Ricochet
So
was not good. And he's doing I mean, he's not doing bad at AEW as being on the mic, but
It's almost like he's leaned into being a goofball. But hey,
nobody can take him seriously. That's the thing. Like,
but
even when
hey,
he's supposed to be that guy, you don't we don't
but
care.
that seems to be his truth though.
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That he's just weird. So I say, hey, lean into it, man.
Now I would like to give my take.
Okay.
Um, yes, I feel like the guy trying to tag in. Like, hey, let me tag.
Oh
Let me
my
tag.
bad.
I'm holding the rap. I'm holding the little string. I'm holding the string.
Sorry
Yeah.
about
So, but I I like to. I guess I would be the heel approach to this topic because ever since WWE got bought out, TKO, and got part of the TKO holdings, TKO is a business. That businesses look for profit margins, businesses look for growth. Um, and in growth, there are sometimes you have changes. And given especially last year, if you notice the run when they made between, I thought it was ludicrous to go from I think it was like WrestleMania to SummerSlam, and you were gonna have three pay-per-views in a row, all three in the summer when most Americans have enough, or the average American family has time, especially if you got kids in school, where you can go and travel and go places. You're gonna have three pay-per-views all out of the country during the summer, literally. You have Money in the Bank, Backlash, and it was
Mhm.
like one of them, Clash at the Castle. Like all three of them out of the country. And to see the response that was given for France, when Jay Uso was doing the eat thing, you literally couldn't hear anything but them folks singing the song full of. Like I grew up. I mean, I love Randy Orton. I always like watching his matches. I hear voices in my head. I didn't actually know the words to the song. The man singing it full throated. I mean, literally was putting American crowds to shame. To the point the wrestlers was kind of like, "Oh my God!" Like these folks were singing my things, and these are folks where English is not their first, their natural tongue. That's it. When they would go to Radia, when they went to Italy, when they went, I mean, it was to the point. If you're getting this kind of traction here, why are we going to Cheyenne, Wyoming? Why are we going to Long Beach, California? Why are we going to Pensacola, Florida? You see what I'm saying? Uh,
Mhm.
Versus I can go over here to Rome and Milan and Paris and Stuttgart and you know Prague and these folks. It's just the thirst that's there. That's why I mean, even though Royal Rumble is my personal favorite pay-per-view, and I had been thinking to myself, okay, next year I want to go because it's always around the time of my birthday. They're gonna be in Riyadh. They're gonna be in Saudi Arabia next year. So much for that. You see what I'm saying? It's getting to the point now. If that means we got to cut house shows because you don't sign a 5-year, $5 billion contract with Netflix. If I'm Netflix, you telling me Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins got hurt. Seth Rollins strike type of guy. He kind of reminds me of old school of like Bret Hart. I'm defending the TV title every time I'm on TV. And I'm wrestling every time you see me. I'm wrestling. I'm coming in. Like Seth Rollins strikes me as the type of dude that his body, he'll get hurt in a house show. Giving it all, no matter if it's 2,000 people in the ring or
Oh,
20,000.
he did. He man, he got hurt bad at a house show. And he
So
was
to
out for months.
right, so to my point, it's like if I'm Netflix, I'm paying all the I want Monday Night Rollins. You see what I'm saying? So if that means that now we got to cut down some of these house shows so that reduced risk of injury. Or now it'll free up the talent to go do other stuff, other promotional stuff that they could be doing instead of being at a house show. Case in point, when SmackDown was coming to DC, I happened to be in DC that week, and I went to a Wizards game the Wednesday night before, and they had LA Knight there, native of Hagerstown, Maryland.
Mm,
I think that's no secret, but he was there. What they had gave him a Wizards jersey with the number 13 on it, and with his name on the back, LA Knight, and promoting about SmackDown coming, and then there was going to be an NXT pay per view like the next day. So you see what I'm saying? So it's like he wouldn't have had time to go do that if he's at a house show, or like Bailey participating in the NBA All Star Celebrity game, you know,
mm,
and, and in her native California. Those kind of things where TKO wants to constantly drop and make sure that their talent can go to places, so be it. So I mean, and that means the house shows. Now I think it's going to be a shift. I think now for the normal house shows would be, that's where I think the NXT matches when they go on the road would be. So that way you still service that fan base. You're just not gonna get the John Cena's and the Undertakers, all that. You'll get the Trick Williams. You'll get to see people on their way up, kind of like minor league ball.
mm.
Well, I saw them when they was coming up through the ranks, and now maybe
Yeah, like
LFG and
like
WWE ID
yeah,
and WWE NIL would be
yeah,
replaced what's at the performance center. So be
yeah.
it. Then that way everything still eats.
I
Yeah.
have a parallel, like where I guess an analogy. Back in the day, the Memphis Chicks were a double A team, and they were a farm team for the Kansas City Royals. And so, I got to see a young Bo Jackson. I even got a poster here because he had an anti-drug campaign called Cocaine. So, so yeah, that's I guess that's kind of how these smaller territories would be.
Yeah. It kind of remind me of the NBA. That's like the reverse NBA thing, especially when it comes to athletes trying to. They can only set out a certain amount of days, a certain amount of games. Because if you start sending out if you start sending out, um, I forgot the percentage. They start
You have to
affecting.
play at least a minimum of 65 games in order to qualify for any postseason awards. That's the rule.
Oh, that was the rule. Oh, okay. Well, I thought it was something. I thought they would do something with your check or something like that. But anyway, um, that I think they should implement that, into the WWE world too. Like, um,
But it's not apples and oranges. It depends on creatively if they have a storyline for you.
well, yeah, that's true. That's
You
true.
see what
That's
I'm saying? Just to having just the two brands, to me, is good enough because Marcus, we remember when the same talent would show up on every show. And you talking about there wasn't even a break. Where at least with SmackDown and Raw, now they have, depending on the storyline, some folks may crisscross over, like how Bianca Belair showed up for Raw to watch the Io Sky run
Yeah,
Ripley match because she wants to
yeah,
see who she's going to fight, you know. But for most parts, they keep the people at their different shows to kind of give some more turnover to the roster, to the talent. Which, by the way, I did not see that coming. EO coming in to win. I did
yeah.
not see that coming. So now
I love EO, but I don't love that.
true.
you love EO, but you don't love what?
I don't love the outcome of that match. I was like,
I actually not mad with it.
cause Ripley ain't been that long getting it back, man. I'm like, dang.
Ripley
To
got too
me,
cocky.
but me, it wasn't even so much that. It was like I felt like something was off with her physically. That's just me. Watching the match, I'm like, not that she. It seemed like she was less than 100% to me. And if this 100% is going to compromise you, I can't have you in WrestleMania and you so compromised to the point you're not gonna be able to do a 5-star match. Because if you're gonna do Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair, best believe it needs to be the build up. Because you remember we were supposed to have this before when both of them was he dropped off. Okay, they dropped the ball. Okay, he's back. Um, remember when both of them was champions? Bianca was on Raw and Rhea was on SmackDown, and they were supposed to fight each other at WrestleMania, and then Rhea got hurt, and so they ended up scrapping the match. So um, the talent, he's not here on this podcast, but I know when we talked about it from pre-production standpoint, Doug felt like if I'm going to see Rhea and Bianca, this is before what happened Monday night, before even seeing that. He said, I would have rather seen that as a champion versus champion match. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that let's say Rhea was holding the world champion and Bianca had won the WWE championship. Because he said, because the way they have been building them up for all these years, I mentioned how both of them was on the top cover of 2K24. Now, granted, what I had liked a little bit more time, to build it up, yes, I liked a little bit more time. Like kind of like what Charlotte, the time that Charlotte had with Tiffany Stratton, I would have liked to have seen it if they was going to do it, flip it that way. Bianca had won um, Royal Rumble, and then let her say right there, "I want Rhea." If you were going to do it was one off, but if you're going to push that down another WrestleMania or two, that's fine. That's
Sure.
fine. But I think when they do it, it needs to have its own build. Trying to do it with less than a month out, I don't really, I didn't really care for that.
I,
EO is a great substitution.
I about to say I remember Rhea Ripley. When she earned my respect when she dislocated her arm live in WrestleMania last year. She popped that sucker back in, and I'm like, oh, okay, because that was real. Like she really
Yeah, we like, ooh.
went like, and she went back and wrestled. She wound up still winning. I'm like, you know what? No, she lost actually. I'm sorry. Did she lose?
I
She,
remember her also. I remember her popping the arm at SummerSlam.
was it SummerSlam or maybe I thought it was WrestleMania.
She might have did WrestleMania. I remember the one where she hit the table at SummerSlam,
Yeah.
and
Oh,
then
it's
she had to
that's
hit the
what it was.
table again to pop it back in.
Yeah, it was SummerSlam. I'm sorry, that was WrestleMania. But
I, I didn't
yeah,
remember.
yeah, that was SummerSlam. It was SummerSlam. Yeah, and I think Dom did something that interfered and Liv wound up winning or something.
Yeah,
But
Dom turned on her at
yeah,
SummerSlam.
yeah, that was the turning point.
That
Yeah,
was the turning point. Can you
but
believe it? Him and Liv has not even been a yet. The way they burned through that romance, I got to give credit for Liv Morgan. Liv to me has really come on strong. Like she's kind of pick up the slack for where Alexa Bliss kind of dropped
Yeah.
off,
mm-hmm.
but Liv, I got to tip the cap to oh, she really believe in her, like believe in her. Like I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, she made me believe in her.
Yeah,
Liv's dope, and I'm glad to see the evolution of her character because she was like some little hot topic reject in NXT, and and then the Rise Squad, and I'm
Mm,
just glad to see her like coming into her own in
yeah.
the ring and at the ring presentation, all of it.
Yeah, because when she won that, what the first Money in the Bank, that was okay. But I think when she won the title the second time, I think that's where it was kind of like, okay, we can build something on this.
I
We
think
can,
I think Dom's gonna turn babyface eventually. I have a weird feeling that's gonna happen. It's gonna be it's gonna be a shock. I swear. I have a weird feeling Dom's gonna turn babyface some way somehow. I know
and
it's hard. It's gonna be hard for him, but
and
I
this is
think
where it leads to our last topic, final bell predictions and final thoughts, which you just mentioned that.
I don't know when. I don't know when Dom. What's gonna happen with Dom's storyline? But I have a weird feeling Dom's gonna be a babyface. They're gonna eventually whether he's gonna turn on what's his name? I don't think turning on Finn Balor is gonna solve anything. I don't think that's going to be the reason. I think it's going to be having something to deal with his dad, Rey Mysterio. Um, Something might happen with this dad that's gone too far, and this that, and he go like, hold up. At the end of the day, that's my father. Let me go ahead and try to,
He may be a deadbeat, but that's my deadbeat, kind of thing.
yeah, type it, yeah. So I think something along those lines. It might not be this WrestleMania, but it's gonna be probably in the SummerSlam. I think I give it to SummerSlam. He's gonna be a
Yeah.
baby face by then.
I would love to see, and I was hoping to get this with maybe Dom and Ray, another version of like Latino Heat. I mean Los Guerreros, like
Hmm.
how kind of how Chavo um
Eddie.
and Eddie was, and then of course did it with Eddie and Ray for a little bit. Yeah, I would love to see something like that with them two with the Mysterios, Los Mysterios. But it just we'll see.
Um, I think something's gonna happen with Finn Balor.
He gonna turn
I
back to
think,
his devil look.
yeah, man. I think the demon gonna be back, and I think Finn. They're gonna finally put some respect on Finn's name, man.
Oh, word Finn Balor, yeah.
Then I, I'll put it like this, and, and this kind of goes back to Dark Ages, and it kind of goes back, and it is probably apropos we're doing this on the first episode, talking about moves and skill sets, move sets. When we first started the feud, and Rock, this will be a history lesson to you. Um, the Walker brothers had, oh god, it was an N64, and I think it was like WCW versus the World or WCW Nitro or whatever. And they had got one of those games where it was like the first time you could create a player. And I'm talking about you can go into the different move sets and all the stuff. You want the Stinger Splash, all kind of things. As the game started getting more and more with Jackson, THQ, and different folks making games, I would try to find a wrestler too that I really like and pretty much like use their move set as the base of how I would want to wrestle. I bring that up because that's how I felt about Finn Balor. Like I've always loved his move sets that he do with the sling blade, the coup de grace. Like I've always really liked his move sets. And of course, every now and then they put him in the title picture, and now he's kind of been relegated to mid Carter. But I think folks forgot Ben was that guy. It just like one point Ben was the
Yo,
guy.
his NXT
Especially,
run was legendary,
yeah, Ben was the guy.
and they
Yeah,
put the Universal belt on him, but he was hurt. He had to give it up.
yeah. So I was so that's why I said Finn was the type of guy where if he was to get another good singles run, whether as him or as a truth be told, I ain't care for the demon for religious reasons. I didn't really care. And then
How you
like the
feel
last
about
couple
speaking
of
of religious reasons? How you feel about The Rock being the devil all of a sudden?
or acting like the devil, I mean, he was just acting like the devil. He ain't that he is one. But come on, I want your soul. I'm sitting there, I'm like, that looked like a stretch even for you, Doc. You know, I did think that was a stretch. I expect that from the boogeyman. You know what I'm saying? Expect that from him. I was like,
Man, he reminded me of that uh David Keith's character in The Princess and the Frog. Are you ready?
so it would be. I, I would like to see Finn get another good singles run. Maybe next season WrestleMania may propel to where he could be in the picture. Because to have, I'm going to tell you who else I'm really looking on tabs to make another big jump. Jacob Fatu. I think he is
Yes.
without fail. He's top 10, but I think he could even be top five as far as one of the best talents in the WWE now. like today. Like you could put Fatu just to see what he did against Strowman. I was like, this man could fight smaller people. He can fight people his size. He can fight bigger people. He can fight. Now, of course, him and Braun Breaker would be. I don't know the ring. You got to put them in like Hell in a Cell. I don't know if the ring can hold the two of them together. I really don't.
Man,
Um,
Listen to
Jacob Fatu character. I
this
don't
from the
know.
mountain.
I ain't gonna. Excuse me if I say this. Excuse me when I say this, but I mean this in the most respectful way ever.
we on
Jacob
YouTube.
Fatu, huh?
We on YouTube, so
Jacob Fatu his character is a nigga. Like
I, I
he
just
Yeah,
said we on YouTube. You
oh,
can't.
you can do that on you can say that.
No, not
Oh,
on YouTube. Oh,
okay.
well,
no,
he's
bro.
coded for black. Okay, he's coded black.
Yeah, like
Very urban.
he very
And
urban. Like
he still ran into the wall. I was like, no.
but it's just Jacob Fatu strikes me as the dude that he represent the brothers. Like if they were really fighting, if bro, like he
Yes,
kind of bring a realistic feel to it. Like you know what I mean? Like
yes, yes.
Jacob
All gas,
Fatu,
no brakes.
all
yes,
gas,
all
no.
gas, no break, yes. Jacob Fatu is the
Listen to me.
dude. If you
I will
see
scream this from the
a,
mountaintops. I am in the Samoan werewolf business.
yeah,
I am all in on him,
yes,
and I need me a t-shirt.
and you
Yeah,
need what?
I need me a t-shirt.
Ah,
he's like, I'll beat your ass. The way he says it is so hilarious.
Jacob Fatu strikes me as the person that when you see your name next to his on the call sheet, on the match sheet, you just knew it's gonna be a rough day because you're gonna feel like you've been in a wrestling match. There was some people like the wrestler that shall not be named. Um, that every time he showed up, especially his matches with Kurt Angle,
Ah, yeah, yeah,
legendary.
yeah.
Legendary. And
You
just
gonna feel like you was in a train wreck.
yes,
Who you
but
talking about? You talking about the dude that made Kane tap out?
well, he did make James out, but we met
Okay.
up. The
Why we
one
can't say his
he,
name?
he's no longer with us. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's no longer with us, unfortunately.
He was my favorite wrestler at one point though, because of
Yeah.
the fact he made Kane.
He was definitely mine, without fail. Um, Marcus know that I was. Although
Man,
I was
yo,
having the feeling the flying headbutts eventually was
I
going to start to. That
I
was towards
remember
the end of
I
his
remember when I
career.
saw that man in '93 in WCW fighting Two Cold Scorpio. I was like, yo, this cat different.
Man, I remember. Yeah,
One
it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny because they be making memes out of him when
mm,
when something related to family situations, and they play his theme song with the eyes and everything. And I try not to laugh, but it I guess they use that as a mechanism to, you know, what's the word?
cope
Cope of the situation.
is
But
a bad mechanism in my opinion, but
yeah, it is. It is. But hey,
yeah.
but
Cause
yeah, man,
like
he was one of my favorites at one point in my life.
yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, man.
So you
But
think he
man,
had?
yeah,
So did they say that he had CTE or?
I don't think they even got the. I don't think they even did that, or could they even do it the way he died? I don't
no,
know
no,
if
I
they.
believe that he clearly had CTE. They were saying like
Uh,
his brain was like a 70-year-old person. So I was like, oh crap.
yeah.
But
That Will Smith movie,
yeah, man.
that Will Smith movie definitely opened my eyes. Even though I didn't think Will Smith did a good job being an actor in that one, but it
Tell
definitely.
the truth. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, you will not come for Will Smith's South African accent. I'm playing. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible.
Him being a slave. I haven't seen the slave movie he was in yet, but
Nobody had that mug was an Apple Plus exclusive.
I'm sorry not to go off topic, Paul. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
But
yeah,
yo, man, we can't end on that, man.
Right. That's
That's
why
a
I was
downer.
like, oh yes, that is definitely a downer. I think Sami Zayn is on retirement. Well, not retirement. He's on
vacation.
he vacation for this WrestleMania. Like we was trying to figure out what they're gonna do with Roman Reigns. Sami Zayn is definitely out.
Mhm.
Um,
He might make an appearance on WrestleMania. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't just let him. Again, another person who's been part of main events for like the last 3 years. Man, let Sammy get some rest. Kevin
I want El
Owens.
Generico.
Who?
Oh, you don't know about that. See,
Who?
when I first met Sami Zayn, it was in like Pro Wrestling Gorilla
Oh Lord.
in Chikara. He was a generic luchador, El Generico. That was his character.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know
And,
that.
and-
If that was the
yeah,
whole Uzi, I see why. Okay.
and he would say "see" and all this and that, and then he would man, he had a nasty brain buster, and he was doing well back then. They called it a Yakuza kick.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow. When you said
yeah,
everything
like
else,
his whole
no.
time on the Indies, he was like wearing a mask, and he was El Generico, the generic luchador.
Okay.
Man, Google it, YouTube it.
Oh,
The stuff is
I was listening.
hilarious.
I
You know
believe
what
it.
I want to see? I want to see a new version of the Nexus. That's what I want to see. Man,
I feel like I can't trust them
what?
cause God
Who's
they screwed
them?
the pooch on that.
Who's them?
Well, you're right. It was Vince. Vince screwed the pooch on that.
The Nexus, like I remember when they first came out, and I'm like, yo, they don't. This doesn't seem like it was part of the script. Like, I mean, that was part. I think that was my first time being introduced to kayfabe. I didn't even know what that.
Poor Justin Roberts, cause Daniel Brian Danson choked the life out that young man
Oh
with
yeah.
his own time. I was like, ease up, sir.
Man, the Nexus that was a moment right there. That
But
was
but then they had him lose at the first pay per view. I was like, why would you do that?
for real. Oh, I don't remember that. Damn.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't trust the E in this situation. But Bridge got a point. There was Vince.
Mm-hmm.
Vince built him up, had him do all this diabolical stuff. Then gonna have him lose at the very next pay per view. That was crazy.
Yeah, because they were just disrupted. They were low key disrupting the show. Like that.
And
It was
then they was like kind of trying to, I don't know, build him up some more. Then they split. Some of them became core and this and that. That
yeah.
didn't work. And also, I think it hurt Wade Barrett's career because I just
It
felt like
did.
Wade Barrett never got the traction that he needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was so when the Nexus run, I was so disinterested in wrestling at that time. I missed almost all of it. Like I remember seeing the little end and the little yellow armband or whatever they were, David Tonga and all these other cats. I'm looking like CM Punk is your leader, and I am not sold on none of y'all. Like as talent, I was to me like that a team full of that one pay per view where it was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, Survivor Series 5-man team, and Brock Lesnar was the shortest person on his team. He had cats like Nathan Jones and all these other cats. We was like, who? I,
Little did
I,
they know, everybody from the Nexus actually become pretty decent, other than Wade Barrett. You know.
I like him on commentary. He's not bad.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, Seth Rollins became somebody. Roman Reigns became tribal chief. Like, and
No, but they weren't Nexus. They were the Shield.
no, they were. What? Oh, that's right. They were part of the Shield. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, man. Most of Nexus kind of flamed out, man. Like way better than Heath Slater probably hung around the lungs.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Heath Slater. I remember Heath Slater with uh, his country persona.
I got kids, man. But yo, that man did all those goofball antics and had a lengthy WWE career.
Yeah, he was definitely a journeyman of antics.
Yeah, yeah.
Was
He,
Jack Swagger part of Nexus?
Nah.
I would say he would give Mick Foley a run for his money. Now, as far as execution, no. But as far as the amount of personas, it's up there.
Yeah,
Like
Who?
I
yeah.
Heath
remember
or Jack?
Huh?
Heath or Jack?
Heath.
Okay.
Nah, man. Jack Swagger has no personality, and that's why he should never not be with a manager. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jack Swagger couldn't even be a poor man's Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and that's what they tried to make it. It just he didn't even work as that. I was like, oh God, who is this?
I remember John Moore. Was John Morrison and Johnny Nitro? They were the same exact. Nothing changed
Yes,
between.
yes. Just a name. And yo, Morrison's last run in the WWE. I mean, I guess he made money, but what was the point? He did nothing.
He did nothing other than being a tag team champion with the Miz, but that was a short run. Um, the Miz, I would think, was the only guy that I would say that was probably mediocre to me that actually still has a career. The Miz was I would say there's one thing. The Miz was he was one of the best on the mic. Like the
And
Miz,
also the Miz presents as, hey, that's a good dude. So and he's like middle America, so you can put
wait, he cut off again.
in knows how to act, quote unquote.
All right, can you repeat that one more time? You kind of cut out.
You cut off.
Uh,
Marcus.
Oh, hey, what? Can y'all hear me?
we hear you a little bit. You're breaking up.
Sorry, man. Like I said, the Miz knew how to act. He had home training. He knew how to play the Hollywood game.
I heard he knows how to play some game.
The Hollywood game.
Oh, the Hollywood game. Gotcha.
Hollywood man. Mhm.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to think of anything else. I like the Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus match, having the older, younger, and Trish being the hometown. That's paint by numbers. You know,
Mhm.
that was simplistic. And I would like to see 20 years from now who is that person Tiffany Stratton is going to team up with in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Where she's from. From Minnesota, where she's from. So it would be interesting to see who that is
I
years from now.
love Tiffy's. I love Tiffy's character. I love the prettiest moonsault ever.
So,
But I think she's so in the ring. I just want her to get a little more seasoning.
yeah. I think as an athlete, as a talent, I think she has a lot. She can offer a lot, and she has more to offer. Charlotte, it's just Charlotte reminds me of Thanos, like the inevitable. But
Yes. Yes.
I would say, at when is the last time Charlotte ever put anybody over?
What? She doesn't do that, sir.
Right, and that's the problem. I think for Charlotte, and part of it was a little bit she mentioned this on the post match show after she won Royal Rumble. How in the time she's been going, how many more new girls that she never even gotten the chance to work with and do storylines with. I think I need Charlotte to understand this is TKO. This is a different WWE now. We need everybody to be. Yes, you're a Flair. You're always going to be a Flair. But that being said, we need you to play along. With that being is you losing to Tiffany at WrestleMania will help put Tiffy over and
Right.
add legitimacy too. Because Charlotte is like one, you're not getting no younger. Two, you're another catastrophic injury away from being
Oh my
like
goodness.
Charlotte Flair reminds me so much of like an Allen Iverson person where if she can't be the star, I think she would. I I would never. I don't think I could ever see Charlotte Flair being a mid Carter, or even like how Natalie is.
Yeah.
Natalia, not Natalie, Natalia. I never see Charlotte. I never in my mind will ever see Charlotte Flair as a Natalia. I don't think she has that in her. If Charlotte can't be a star, can't be a main eventer, she goes home. At this
As
point,
a Memphis Grizzlies fan, you know that Allen Iverson analogy
yes,
hit me to my bones.
yes, I understand. But it just strikes me as Charlotte has to be that kind of what's that? Like if she can't be on top, Charlotte doesn't strike me as somebody that's gonna hang around just to be hanging around. That's not Charlotte. I see Charlotte where if I can't be XYZ, I'll just go ahead and retire and just let my life go on whatever. Like Charlotte would be the one that she could come to, you know, WrestleMania access, and because let's be honest, how many of the women, legacy wise, that we look forward to seeing? Okay, Trish, yes. Lita, yes. Who else do we really look forward to seeing? Mae
if
Young and
if
the other ladies, they're dead. So
if they could bring back Jacqueline or what's the other black woman who used to beat up everybody?
not Ultra
Um.
Kong.
No, no, not her. Yeah, what was her name? Because she was married to Rodney Mack, and
Not Athena.
no, no, not Athena. She was after
Alicia Fox.
Jacqueline, huh?
Alicia Fox.
Man, I can't remember her name because she's like she wrestles bald headed down, and she was like kind of tough. She was part of what was that? Thugging and
Jazz.
bugging, huh?
Jazz.
Yes, Jazz.
Okay.
Man, I watch Jacqueline and Jazz any day of the week.
But Jazz is still active though, right? As a wrestler, she's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
But did Jazz make enough of an impact in WWE that she showed up at the card show? I mean, the diehards know who she is, but I'm just saying.
Nah, it ain't too many people that we want to see. You know what? I think Michelle McCool could do a little mini run. Matter of fact, I would love Lay Cool just because I love the whole Mean Girls persona.
I wish I can who can bring who can come back? Melina. Oh my God.
Didn't she come back for the Royal Rumble?
Melina?
Yeah, she was in the match.
I remember seeing Melina in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, they made a whole big deal that she could still do the split.
Oh, I mean, yeah, they'll make a big deal about that. Yeah.
They made a
Mm-mm.
real big deal about that. She didn't stay in there long though. I think she might have lasted all of 2 minutes.
Wow.
But I
Um,
mean, Mickey James.
Mickey Jane, Richmond, Virginia. Hey.
Oh, she's rich. Okay, I'm trying. See, if I got to start thinking hard, who I want to see at a card show is Ivory still with us? I don't.
Yes. Ivory still living.
Okay, so you got Ivory, Victoria. I'm struggling. That's what I said. Charlotte could right now. literally retire, could literally retire, and she can come to award shows, car shows the rest of her life, and she's good, and she's cool. Well, all them times she was 17 times or whatever, 15-time world champion, whatever. She gonna go into WWE Hall of Fame. Her body work is enough to where the WWE with all these new girls is coming out with um, Jada Parkers and the Jordan Grace and the other Jordan girl, the Kalani Jordan, with the Kalani Jordan and the last legends and all that. Why do we need a Charlotte Flair again? Especially if she's not gonna play ball.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? The only way I even want to see Charlotte Flair, that's just me, because I'm tired of the act the way it is. I only
Well,
want
we
to see.
only have two of the four horsewomen left.
That's where I was going. I only want to see Charlotte Flair really active is if there was a chance for the four horsewomen to ever come back and actually be a stable.
Basically, pass the torch.
I mean, I don't know who you would pass the torch to as of who, not definitely not damage control.
I
You
mean,
know, who you passing the torch to?
I think Charlotte Flair had a good. I think she could have this time with Jade Cargill. That was a failed opportunity.
Which
Um,
could still happen, maybe next year's WrestleMania or whatever. Because
yeah,
Jade, you can put Jade up against. Uh, I
but
think even
Jade's just
her.
not. Her ring, like she still make. I mean, Grant, you can make the argument. That one pay per view, was it WrestleMania or SummerSlam
There
where she
was two pay per views where Jade had botched.
butched like coming from the ropes, and
It was
there
botched.
was one where she couldn't kick out.
Clash. You had the one with Clash at the Castle where she slipped on the ropes jumping in because she was supposed to jump off. Then you had, I think it was pay not payback, backlash
Right,
where she was supposed to kick out and she was kind of like borderline late. It
right.
was
She
yeah,
no, she was late. Like that was a 3 count.
yeah. She was late. Um, there was another one where she was supposed to use a foot or some boot or something. And she missed. Yeah, it was. And so it's been, but I wonder if so much of that reminds me of kind of like what Becky Lynch talked about Ronda Rousey when Ronda Rousey first came in, how they fast tracked her as
Hmm.
well. So at least we did it for Ronda, we did it for Jade. So at least WWE was consistent about it, and they just tried to work them through it. Where in hindsight, to Marcus, I think you made the point. You or a Rock, she should have went to NXT.
Oh, no, I made
Even
the point, man. Definitely, she should have been in NXT, man.
I think she should have did at least
A good
six
2 or 3
weeks,
months.
at least 6 weeks. Then bring her up on the main roster. But I understand when you bring in somebody with that high profile and that, like for example, if you brought in Joe Henry, you're not putting Joe Henry. Well, I mean he's done NXT, but I'm trying to think. Jordan Grace done NXT. Yeah, you just had Jay Cargill walking backstage with Shawn Michaels. You know they show that, but yeah, so
Yeah,
it's interesting.
she's definitely a rare situation. She already made a name for herself. Even before she got to AEW, I think she had a name. Did she?
I didn't know her before AEW.
Oh, well, I could have swore she was big before then, but I don't
I
know.
mean, I mean, she might have been like, maybe in something else. I'm just saying, I didn't know her before
Well,
AEW.
But other than that, I mean, I I'm pretty much wrestled out at this point. I don't know anything to talk about.
ding. I was gonna say ding 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 ding. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen,
I'll
yeah,
put like a highlight reel together of something, the key moments that happened tonight.
yeah. I mean,
And
yeah,
when
but well,
tell sell to social media, put on like TikTok and stuff, and it.
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank y'all. We're going to be trying to do this usually around the pay per views. Either I think for WrestleMania, Rock, like you said, maybe try to do some kind of either synchronized. Now I ain't gonna lie, it's 2 nights. I'm like, I don't know if I got the stamina to sit up there and watch those two
Yo,
nights.
man, that Sunday's Easter Sunday, isn't it?
Yep, and Sunday's Easter
Man, I'm
Sunday
gonna
on
be with
top
my
of it.
family.
I know it's gonna be a little rough. It's gonna be a little rough. I know our pay-per-view won't be 2 nights. I think they're gonna. I think they'll start with the big four because I know SummerSlam is already gonna be 2 nights, which means Survivor Series. I don't know if Survivor Series is worth 2 nights. That's just me. It's one of the four majors, but I don't know if Survivor Series is worth 2 nights
I
because
don't
of the
think it
type
is.
of match. Like
Mm.
Royal Rumble and Survivor Series are not 2 night main events, in my opinion.
Not Royal Rumble. I can't see the Royal Rumble being a 2 night event.
Dude. Them also, I'll give you SummerSlam. I'll give you WrestleMania. I
Yeah,
can't think of another pay per view. Backlash, Clash at the Castle, Money in the Bank,
mm-mm.
because they're gimmick matches, man. Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, and Survivor Series are all gimmick matches. I don't see 2 nights worth.
Right.
I just don't.
Well, you could make an argument that some of those could be in a stadium, but like special Money in the Bank, that could be like a stadium event.
Well, I would say you could make a case for it. But
I just hope you better hope it just doesn't rain. That's one thing too. Like, suppose you have an outside event, a stadium event, and it rains outside.
well, they got the little canopy part that they have to protect the rain, and it'd be big enough to protect that area. But yeah, the ramp may be
Like
wet.
WrestleMania, like for example, well, yeah, they did, but yeah, yeah, they did have that. They did
Or
have.
they can do like they did in Cleveland, how you just have the zigzag maze now instead of the ramp. That way you ain't got to worry about nobody slipping
Mm.
with the
Well, I know
zigzag
you
maze.
better not be jumping off no ropes when it's raining outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that.
Which with the Clash at the Castle being outdoors and with Jay slipping on that top rope trying to jump off of it to jump in, it's like, hello, you got the humidity. That way it's gonna be, yeah. It is what it is. All right, well,
And
ladies and
youthful. She young, man.
yeah. So we have made it to an hour and 49. We definitely blew past the hour that we had hoped to keep this thing in, but definitely passed. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, we thank you for tuning in. If you've made it with us this long, we thank you for tuning in with us. But just follow Azrael Media and on all your social platforms, and we will let you know when we do our next episode. For the Walker brothers and absent Tina, Antro Stevens also MIA. Again, you got your boy here, Paul Briggs, Desperado. You got Deacon Payne, Marcus Senior. You got Rocky.
Bill.
Yes. You got Rocky Morris. Uh, my voice is starting to go. Jesus, we
Yo,
we gonna have to get a mid season form for this.
ODU just drained a last minute three,
Okay,
and they just took the lead 64-61 with
okay.
1.1 seconds left.
Oh man, when you said last second three, I'm thinking last second three to win the game, not to take the
Well, they
lead.
look at the clock now because the dude passed it. The other team from Texas, the Texas passed the ball and he threw it up in the air, and they tried to think, okay, was he fouled or was there time on the clock?
Okay. Well, we'll discuss all that off camera. So,
Yeah, we discussed that. Okay.
yes, we're going to close on out. Until next time, we will holler at y'all later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Right.
Yes.
The few.